Greetings, my name is Slight, and welcome to a build review on Pygmalion. We are about to have our 10th victory, I'm sure we will, on day 12 here. We are playing a spiky shield build with silk and a temporary shelter. This is a very strong build when you can get it off the ground. It is rare that you can get temporary shelter and silk together. Oftentimes you get one of them and are having to figure out what to do for the rest of your board. The reason I do these videos is because it's very important to know what end game builds look like that are successful, because that allows you to know what your target is when you're actually developing your board. That is one of the major axes to getting better at the game. So why is this build being successful? We do have two little pieces of spice here that are very important. All right, the base of the build is we need to be selling non-weapon items as well as small items to build both of these up. I was able to get a heavy enchantment on my temporary shelter, which is lucky. I actually haven't done a single fight with this heavy enchantment, so this just came into play for this final fight. Then one of the key things here is getting our cooldowns right. So you'll notice we have a 7.3 second cooldown here, 8.5 second cooldown, and a 9.3 second cooldown. I want those to stack up really nicely with each other. And they stacked up even more nicely before I got Lethargy, which I will come back to. To round out the build, we have Giant Ice Club. This is a nice item if we're playing against someone with a lot of freeze. It's a good way to actually do some damage. But the most important thing here is if they manage to burst us down to half health, we get to take out one of their items for the rest of the game, and that is super strong. This only has a 1% crit. I would have loved to get this to diamond, and maybe if we lose this fight, we will have an opportunity to do that. That being said, being able to take one item out of the fight is super strong. Other than that, some of the key things that are happening here is Vengeance. This is something I got early on. It's reducing the cooldown of the left, right, and rightmost items, and that is having a moderate effect on these, and it's helping that spiky shield line up a little bit better with those two things. Critical Protector is great. Any crit that you can get in this build is super, super strong. Even if I only crit once or twice on one of these items during the game, it matters a lot. So I have been pushing for gumballs quite a bit. I have probably eaten over 50 or 60 gumballs during this alone, and quite a bit of the crit that you're actually seeing on the board is from those blue gumballs. So it is very important to be religious, to be zealous in your gumball eating when you're playing a build like this. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. There's a lot of these skills that don't really do anything. Arms dealer, sharp corners, improvised protection, really not having an impact. Why am I picking Lethargy? Lethargy is a very unique skill, and I think it benefits us very well. In general, Lethargy is good with builds that have charge, right? Who aren't relying on specific cooldowns. But the best thing here is that I'm trying to break the cooldowns of Dooleys. In general, Dooleys get their charges all nice and lined up so that they can have these like distributed charge impacts with each other, and the way that they haste and work with each other. Lethargy messes that all up, and I am nice and tanky, and as long as I can get one of these off, I can survive most things. Because realistically, if I just get my combo off, I go 1, 2, 3. That's going to kill quite a lot of stuff, especially if I get a crit on any of those 3 attacks, right? So as long as I get those 3 attacks, or those 3 item triggers, I'm probably going to win against most builds. Not necessarily all builds, but especially like Dooleys, right? So Lethargy in that case serves to only negatively impact them and pretty much only positively impact me. Notably, me meeting half health and freezing one of their items also really doesn't matter what our cooldowns are if I'm getting a shield use off very quickly after that. So Lethargy is really nice for me because I'm not trying to fight fast. I'm okay with fighting slow, and being slow is going to mess up more opponents' builds than it's going to mess up my build. That covers the build as is. We've been very successful up to this point, only losing to a very OP build. I think it was maybe 1 or 2 days ago. So let's play against this guy and see how it goes. He doesn't have crazy health, but he has a lot of health. All right, we've got a Sharp Corners, classic crook stuff with a little shield spice. We actually have him at above a 1 cooldown with our current setup because of Lethargy. So is it enough? That's the question. We did get this crook freeze off. It would have been great if we had gotten the other thing. Oh, it's actually pretty spooky. It's not clear who's going to win. Oh, he's getting crits. Oh, wow. How did he get 300 crit chance? I haven't been paying attention to that. Oh, interesting. The deadly model ship. Well, well played. He got us. And that does cover the build. I'll obviously play out the rest of this run. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. Thank you.